All right, so now on the program, we've got with us Ted Scheffler, who has been a food writer in Utah for many, many years. I think about 25 or 30
Yeah, I
years. What has it been, Ted?
think it's 26 going on 27
Yeah, a long
years
time.
writing about food and drink in Utah.
Yeah, just an awesome writer, and we're super happy to have him on our program. And he also produces Utah Bites newsletter, which you can subscribe to from utahstories.com. And today we're talking about curbside pickup locations and restaurants that are open. So what have you seen in the last couple months, Ted? What's happened with restaurants in downtown, and what's happened as of the past just couple of weeks?
Well, mostly what's happened is that they're closed, where they
Yeah,
where they've been closed
just
for
shut down.
in-house dining for the most part. So a number of of our local restaurants have had to kind of quickly shift to a takeout or curbside or delivery model, and that isn't something that a lot of, for instance, the fine dining restaurants had ever thought about or planned on doing. It's one thing if you're a sandwich place like Feldman's, and they do a great curbside service, and at Feldman's Deli, but they're a little bit more equipped. It's a little easier to wrap up a really good corned beef Reuben sandwich than it is to do some fancy, plated dinner at Log Haven to go. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so one of the things I've been doing is I've been sort of exploring these takeout meals. I've been writing a series of articles for Utah Bites called Takeout Tryout, and up to I think my fifth one this weekend or this week. And so I've been going to and getting takeout from these places. And since I can't really do my normal restaurant reviews, which feature service and ambiance and all that kind of stuff, noise levels and that, none of that sort of applies to these curbside takeout models. But it's interesting to still write about the food and the takeout experience, and I've actually been enjoying it because I'm finding that some of the restaurants are offering things that they wouldn't on their in-house dining menu. So for instance, just this weekend we went up and got takeout from Tupelo restaurant in Park City, and had like this amazing fried chicken meal because chef Matt Harris up there is from Georgia, and he knows a thing or two about frying chicken. So we had this killer fried chicken meal, but I don't think they would normally offer fried chicken on their regular menu if you were dining in house. So
Hmm.
it's kind of a nice, I'm getting to try some things for some chefs that maybe you wouldn't normally get at their regular restaurant.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've been getting Feldman's Rubens regularly. Where else have you found is a great place to get curbside takeout?
They just started the garage on Beck just started doing curbside. You can also dine in at their patio, and they have just, really great comfort food. I really like their hot Nashville chicken sandwich, but they've also got, great burgers and this killer, it sounds like a weird side dish, but it's just simply candied bacon. These really big, long pieces of candied bacon that are like just completely addictive. So that's one place. We also went to a place in Sugar House called SoMai. It's SOMI, and
Mm-hmm.
SoMai stands. It's a sort of a contraction of Sophia and Michael Eng, who are the owners. And so we got some really, really good takeout kind of Asian food. Mostly, it's a lot of their food's Vietnamese. There's also some Thai stuff on the menu and some Chinese. But I got pho to go, and we got an amazing pork dish. It was sort of this like sautéed pork with vermicelli noodles, and that was really good. So there's a lot of people, like I said, doing takeout now, and you can get everything from sushi to sandwiches these days to go. So it's kind of nice actually. If there's any upside to a pandemic, and I don't think there really is, it's that I don't know. Some people are, like I said, serving food that you wouldn't maybe normally see it at some of these restaurants. And I guess the other thing is it's kind of nice to be able to take this stuff home and drink your own wine or beer or cocktails or whatever, So,
Yeah,
uh,
eat it in your backyard. We like doing that.
right, right.
Having a little picnic in our backyard with it.
Yep.
Yeah, and have you been able to find some deals too? Is it a little bit less expensive than it normally is because they're just trying to get more business coming in?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I guess it's all relative, but like the meal that we had at Tupelo was an entire fried chicken, so 8 pieces of fried chicken, and I swear the breasts were about the size of my thigh. They were huge. So 8 pieces of fried chicken, 3 side dishes. We had like smoked cheddar hominy grits. Gosh, I can't even remember what there were. There were buttermilk biscuits, twice baked candy bacon, sweet potato,
Yeah, that sounds good.
mac and cheese, macaroni and
Wow.
cheese, and salad and cupcakes for dessert. And it was $70 for the whole thing. And to me, I mean, it says that it's a meal for two. This could have easily fed 3 or 4 people.
Hmm.
And so I think that that's, it's all, like I said, I suppose it's all relative, but to eat Matt Harris's fried chicken with all those sides and compostable containers that they come in is, I think, a real bargain. And about a week ago, we went up to Ogden to a place called WB's Eatery. It's owned by Amy Britt, who is also, she's the gal behind Pig in a Jelly Jar
Hmm.
restaurants.
We've had her on the
And
podcast actually. Yeah.
oh, great. And so at WB's, it was like dinner for two was like $41, with tip. And it was, again, it was really, really good. So I think there are bargains. And, this isn't a time when, I mean, you want the restaurants to be making a profit,
Yeah.
and hopefully they are. But I think that they are, charging pretty reasonable prices, to get people just to come in, and to keep them afloat. So,
Yeah, I mean, what we found, we talked to the owner or the managing partner it's a sushi restaurant downtown on State Street. Uh, I can't think of the name right off the top of my head. Sapa,
oh,
and
Sapa,
they
yeah,
own Fat Fish and Sapa, and they
right.
own a pho place. They have all this PPP money they have to spend so quickly, and
Mm-hmm.
if they don't spend that money, they owe it back to the government. So they're in a weird position where they just need volume. They need
Right,
customers to justify their employment levels, so they can
right.
spend this money and justify having the staff that they have normally when they're open 100%. So it's kind of a
Mm-hmm.
weird position they're in. A lot of these
Yeah,
restaurants, and I think now more than ever they need us. They need more customers, they need more business, they need more people coming in, and I think it's a great time to get really fantastic food and try out new places and get really good deals as well.
yeah. I just saw that, for instance, Cafe Melisse is open now from 4 to 8 for curbside takeout. They're doing takeout dinner. And even places, fine dining restaurants like Log Haven, they just reopened for sort of limited in-house dining, and luckily they've got a big patio that they can put people on and keep social distancing going, and they're all wearing masks and gloves and all that. But if you don't want to eat in at a place like Log Haven, you can also get curbside takeout there, and they have a pretty amazing stuff, everything from like grilled bison steak and duck breast to pan-seared ahi tuna. I mean, that isn't the kind of stuff you normally think of as takeout food, I think. But they're
Yeah.
they're doing curbside up there out of necessity as well. So Chef Dave, is cooking for Dave Jones is cooking for people in house and people who want to scenic drive up the canyon to pick up a meal to go.
That's a good reason to go up the canyon besides going on a
Yeah,
hike. Go pick up some gourmet amazing food.
right.
Well, thanks a
So
lot
there
for
are a
being
lot
on
of
the show,
options.
Ted.
You're welcome. Happy to do it.
Yeah, I
Go out there and
appreciate it.
support our local restaurants.
Yeah, it's time to go out and spend some money with restaurants. Use your
For sure.
stimulus money, or take take a trip up the canyon or go to Feldman's or Cafe Melisse or some of these other ones around that you haven't tried before. And it's just, it hasn't, there's never been a better time. And we've got to keep these local restaurants alive because it's just been a very devastating impact on them, what's happened with COVID. So, I would highly recommend everybody watching or listening go to utahstories.com and subscribe to Ted's newsletter, Utah Bites. It comes
It's
out
free.
every Friday.
It's
What's
free.
that, Ted? Yes,
It's free. The
it's
subscription
absolutely
costs
free.
you zero.
And it will be all about the very best places you can go out. And Ted's an amazing writer, and we're lucky to have him as one of our contributors with Utah Stories. And so go check it out, and you will not be disappointed.